Hello, I'm Malcolm Dewey. I'd like to invite you to join me and experience the fun of painting today. Well, if any of that introduction looked familiar to you, you're probably a Bob Ross fan. For decades, Bob Ross has inspired and entertained artists around the world. Millions of artists have watched his Joy of Painting series, and probably millions have tried to paint like him or been inspired to take up painting. Through his particular method of painting, Bob Ross has made it easy for artists around the world who have never painted before to have a go at their own oil painting. Bob Ross guaranteed that with a bit of perseverance, anyone could complete an oil painting. Well, if you love Bob Ross and have been thinking about trying his painting method, then you're going to love this product. I've got my hands on the Bob Ross Master Paint Set right here. This from my friends at artsavingsclub.co.za. I'm going to take a closer look at the contents of this painting set, and then I'm going to have a go myself. I've never painted a Bob Ross painting before. I'm going to try his style out as instructed in this paint set, and you'll see the result for yourself. So let's not waste any more time. Let's have a look at what is inside this beautiful looking set. I must admit, I'm quite excited about this. So let's not waste any time and let's get to it. There it is, the famous Bob Ross painting materials. There is the Fan Blender number 6, the brush that has painted more evergreen trees than any other brush in the world, I think. The script liner for those branches and twigs and to sign your name. The famous painting knife, number 10 painting knife with its unique shape and design, the painting knife that Bob Ross loves to paint his famous mountain scenes with, amongst many others. The big brushes, the big landscape brushes, 1-inch and 2-inch brushes. Really attractive looking brushes, aren't they? And I must say, I really appreciate the fact that Bob Ross gets people to paint with big brushes. Although I must say, I don't normally paint with big brushes like this, but I look forward to trying them out. The set of paints, but first of all, the all-important liquid white. It's liquid white that is perhaps the critical part of the Bob Ross painting method, to create that wet surface on the canvas and to make painting wet into wet so much simpler. And then a set of colors: titanium white, cadmium yellow, bright red, alizarin crimson, phthalo blue, sap green, Van Dyke brown and midnight black. And Bob Ross made a point of having these prepared and made to his specifications for his particular style of painting. Can't wait to get those into action as well. Let's take this out and see what else is here. A welcome message. Welcome to the joy of painting. Now that is exciting. Master Paint Set instructions. And here's a nice full color step-by-step painting. And we're certainly going to give that a go. So one entire demonstration of this mountain scene. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? And a DVD. Really great. Let's open up one of these brushes. That feels pretty good. This is not a house painting brush. It may look like one, but it's got nice spring to it, and they feel like good bristles as well. And the number 2, or the 2-inch brush. This brush we'll be using to get on that liquid white and some of the big sky color and maybe some happy clouds. Now this is something special. Let's do that. And we'll have a look at the famous painting knife. I've always wondered how flexible this blade is, and it's fairly flexible, but definite firmness. Quite a thick metal blade in the neck here and thinner. So it's actually a nicely made piece of kit, this, and the perfect shape to get those curvy mountains, isn't it? And good for mixing. I actually think Bob Ross has improved on the design. And then the fan brush. Not something I typically use, but we're definitely going to give this a good working over. And the liner brush, something I do use. So that's awesome. Fantastic. Love it. Let's get painting. Let's have a look at his instructional DVD, just so we can get a few pointers before diving into the painting. Alright, let's get on the liquid white, which is the wet surface for the canvas. Using the 2-inch brush, let's get some of that onto the canvas. Don't make the canvas too wet, and then you start painting before this dries. After cleaning the brush, I get in some phthalo blue for the top layer, nice and dark at the top of the canvas, and then with a dry brush blending it down towards the horizon and repeating the process again from the bottom of the canvas and blending it up to the horizon line, leaving a bit of highlight for the water. Happy clouds with the 1-inch brush. Blend the edges on one side as well to get a very cloud-like appearance. And then with the painting knife, getting a dark shape in for the mountains, a mix of phthalo blue, alizarin crimson and midnight black, and blend that down again into the misty foothills. And now with some titanium white dragged on the sunny side of the mountain, letting the paint break up to get that sort of authentic look. And adjust the shape as you like. Also getting a bit of shadow in there as well. And I'll blend the lower part as well into the foothills, and then clean the brush. Just beat the devil out of it, as Bob would say. The sort of distant tree line, I'm getting quite a bit of paint down with the painting knife, but you can use the brush as well, and with the fan brush suggesting some distant trees. Dragging the paint down to make some shadows. Now the middle ground, also getting quite a lot of paint down quickly with the painting knife. and the fan brush to shape a few evergreen trees, getting some cadmium yellow here and there for a highlight or two. I want more reflection in the water, so bringing a bit more titanium white into that reflection, cadmium yellow and Van Dyke brown adding some detail, a few sparkles of water, and now the foreground, as Bob would say, getting a bit crazy here and taking a chance, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So the foreground, big trees, give a more significant impression of distance. And with the fan brush, I'm going to get a nice big strong evergreen tree. A few highlights with some cadmium yellow, and then stippling in some more dark with some Van Dyke brown and phthalo blue, and a bit of yellow for highlights, all explained in Bob's video, so you'll have no trouble getting a pathway in. A bit of Van Dyke brown and a little bit of white for highlights, some more yellow and green, and a few tree trunk details and twigs using the liner brush as well. And we're just about done. Time to sign off this painting, and we have a Bob Ross painting completed. Well, there it is, my first Bob Ross painting. And I have to say I enjoyed the experience. It was certainly a challenge and something new for me, having never painted in this type of style before. But if you're looking to have some fun, just unwind on the weekend maybe and try your hand at some oil painting, this is a great way to do it. Get yourself the master paint set by Bob Ross and put it to work. As you can see, you can produce the painting and all the materials are there ready for you to start, plus the directions and a great little instruction DVD. And you know what I really admire about Bob Ross is that he inspired millions of people to appreciate painting, inspired many to take up the paintbrush as well, and entertained millions of people around the world with his amazing transformations. And Bob Ross wasn't trying to produce professional fine art painters. In his own words, all he wanted was for each one of us to discover the creativity within us. And I can endorse that 100%. So get yourself one of these paint sets, have a go, and experience the joy of painting. Now, if you did enjoy this video and it was helpful or informative, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and you'll get more videos about art, painting, and art material reviews in the future. Cheers for now.